The title Leo means 00, from Rei meaning zero in Japanese, and O representing zero. As with the Japanese accent, Leo would be pronounced as Reo. This adds to the theme of loneliness in the song experienced by the man, who he assumed is named Leo. When Eve repetitively sings the line Leo, it's as though he's screaming into the void, where Leo's emotions are not expressed. Not once in the music video did Leo speak, but rather the representation of his emotions are howled in the form of his face. Leo is resistant to expressing his emotions and vulnerabilities. He hides his painful facial expressions with a hat, and his head is hung down, until he is composed enough to lift his face back up. Although, we do get his painful facial expression for a split moment, midway through the song. Even then, he doesn't speak, but opens his hands in the form of a mouth howling. Surrounded by what appears to be flowers, called spider lilies, Eve often includes flower symbolism into his work, with works like Asta and the name Otogiri. Red spider lilies represent death or goodbyes in Japanese flower symbolism. The flower's name is Higanbana, which translates to flower from the other side. This flower symbolism is often for red spider lilies, but I assume it is kept white to match the smoke and water movement of the creature. The creature named Une Une by Ma is a representation of Leo's emotions in the form of smoke and water. It is portrayed to be suffering, a reflection of Leo's suffering, as Leo himself keeps his emotions hidden. We see Leo tame the creature, or as the lyric says, "Today, again, I tame the loneliness," suggesting that this is a feeling he has had for a while and bears with. When Leo says there's an unknown face in the reflection in the water, he's referring to the face that he's hiding, and also referring to Une Une, as if he doesn't recognize himself and his emotions. Une Une overlaps with Leo's loneliness visually, as it appears over Leo's empty chest. At the start, it was a hemisphere, indicating that Leo isn't completely lonely, partly because Leo tamed the tides of the water, but later it forms into a ball, representing Leo's loneliness getting worse, in addition to it spilling over, which is exaggerated by the sirens we hear at this point. Leo had an umbrella before the water was spilling, suggesting that he knew he wasn't able to tame the water, and was expecting it to spill at some point. The ball forms into a large, encased dome, holding in Leo's loneliness inside. Before becoming a dome, there was a heart-like shape emphasizing Leo's lack of love. The loneliness is represented further by Leo fading into the distance. The dome starts to leak and can no longer hold Leo's pain, and breaks, letting out black water to overflow. Even when the dome broke, Leo's face is still hidden. Near the end, we have a completely different Leo, one that has lost his composure while drenched in black water. It doesn't only affect him, but also the woman. Only for Leo to close his eyes in the end, and for Une Une to explode and disappear. There are actually two creatures in the smoke or water. One is Une Une, and the other is a monster mouth. I interpreted this as Une Une being Leo's need to be loved, and the mouth being Leo's stubbornness or fear of vulnerability to express himself. You see Une Une become engulfed by the mouth when they first appear, and later screaming Leo or 00. Despite being mouths, they are essentially saying nothing and disappear alongside Une Une. Quote, "I wish to dance in the gaps between the end," end quote, refers to Leo living between the living and the dead. This is considered to be the ideal life, as he's stuck and not living. He's still alive and he's holding on to expectations to continue to live as normally as he can, in which he tries to act normal and hide his emotions. Quote, "Don't worry," he tells himself, knowing that this is the wrong way to live. He calls himself the fool, admitting that his need for love by spewing it out. Quote, "Please, fill me with love." Because Leo is intensely lonely, he also has an intense need for love, as he's screaming, "Please, fill me with love," many times over. the use of the word fill refers to his emptiness from the loneliness. The double theme and relationship between love and loneliness in Leo is mentioned by Eve himself. Ma drawing une une in the form of Eve's vocals could be portraying Eve's feelings. I also love how Ma named the files for the song. The woman at the start appears to be diving into Leo's loneliness and wishing the best for him. She's praying for him, and Leo appreciates this from the lines, "Praise that praying figure." He holds on to kindness given to him because he doesn't dare express his need for love. And when he does acts of love, he's expecting a reward to fill his loneliness, emphasized by the love that seeks rewards. However, the woman is able to express herself as her mouth is open during the lyrics, "Let's be reborn, please respond to me, throw away these chains now." Reborn suggesting that he should come back to the living and leave his idle life between the gaps. Une une moves past her ankles as she's talking about removing chains. Quote, "You're not dead yet, so please howl out your thoughts." Despite her best efforts, Leo betrays her wishes. Quote, "Do you still remember me?" making you say goodbye. Implying Leo has left her due to his inability to speak. He doesn't understand how he ended up this way, or how he got there. Quote, "I just happened to be there, not knowing anything." While many suggest that he had died, I would like to think that this was made for us, for those of us living and not noticed, for those of us who don't open up to our vulnerabilities because of fear. In an interview with Eve, he says feelings of anger, sadness, suffering, things that you want to exhale. If you can, scream now. I know I want to look away, and I know I have the courage to show my weakness. However, if you deceive yourself and live by deceiving yourself like that, it will eventually break. In this world where no one can understand each other, it is a loneliness that we all have in our hearts, and I think that everyone seeks love because of loneliness. I want to see your smile, and smile from the bottom of my heart, not a friendly laugh, a bitter laugh, or a smirk. The end of the lyrics has Eve's comment, quote, "For someone who has been forgotten, with no one's notice, and for you who want to be someone to notice, also for you who happen to be on that side and do not know anything." End quote. Essentially being Leo. Eve has given me plenty of music to express myself with, and I'm glad I have been able to open conversations for other people to express your ideas and feelings. I'm aware of the types of people who gravitate towards Eve's music, and I'm no different. Even if you haven't made your presence known to me, whether that's in the comments or elsewhere, I acknowledge that you're there. So don't forget, until next time, take care.